Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with Powers. I'm Jake. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the board game Pagan, Fate of Roanoke, okay? Also bringing to you one of the expansions. I believe this is the first expansion, Pagan Beyond the Palisades, alright guys? This is coming to you from Wyrmgold Games. Now, Pagan, Fate of Roanoke here. This is the second, I don't want to say second edition, but this is the second print run. They had it on the back of the postcards here. Second print run edition for Pagan Fate of Roanoke. This game originally released in 2001. And essentially what Pagan Fate of Roanoke is, guys, it is a two-player only social deduction type game where one player is going to be playing as a witch, the other player is going to be playing as a witch hunter. And the object of the game is each person's going to have a different objective. So the witch is looking to corrupt some of these townsfolk and citizens so that she can do like a ritual of some sort. And the witch hunter is trying to uncover who the witch really is. And so it looked really cool when I saw it. You know, I'm always up for like just straight up two-player games and social deduction games. And so, like, essentially what's going to happen, you guys are going to have decks of cards. And so you're going to have this deck of cards. You're going to be playing cards out. And, like, you're going to have cards that will be able to do different effects, like items and such like that. That's going to tamper with and help slow down some of those other characters, all right? But let's go ahead and jump right in. So I've actually already done unboxing. I've actually already unboxed the Fate of Roanoke base game so that me and Cierra could try it out. We were super excited to try this one out, and then we'll go ahead and unbox Beyond the Palisades. But this was the I can't remember what version this was. I mean, in terms of pledge level, but it's just the base game. The expansion, this is the very first expansion come out. We got some wooden tokens and things like that here. We got some nice little postcards, and then we got the mystery that you might have saw peeped on one of our other unboxings, Taverns and Dragons. We have the Playmat, all right? The Playmat here that you guys saw in that Taverns and Dragons unboxing was indeed the Playmat for Pagan Fate of Roanoke. So let's go ahead and dive into some of this content here. So jumping right in, Pagan Fate of Roanoke here. Beautiful box art, right? It's coming to you from Wyrmgold, art by Maren Gutt. This is a German company, so I'm assuming I'm not going to try and pronounce any of those other names. We're just going to go with Kasper and Kjær are probably the designers of this game. But let's go ahead and give this beauty an opening here so you can see the box there, no box insert, and let's take a look at this rule book. So it is quite a lengthy rule book here, guys, but you can see that everything is clearly organized and spelled out for you. How many pages is this? I believe there is 32 pages. 32 pages to the game, but some of this is to Kickstarter backers. They got a glossary, things like that. I think the rule book is done very well, in my opinion, when you're able to look at all things. They have the different actions and the different type of cards you're all going to encounter. But let me go ahead and read off this a little bit here. So it says basically the game overview is Pagan the Fate of Roanoke is an asymmetrical card game for two players, respectively taking on the roles of witch or witch hunter. The witch tries to carry out a ritual of renaturation before being exposed and eliminated by the witch hunter. 9 villagers are under suspicion, and only the witch player knows who the real witch is. Each turn, the two players use their action pawns on active villagers to draw cards, play cards, and gain influence. Moreover, the witch can brew powerful potions, improve their familiar, and cast enchantment and charms, while the witch hunter enlists allies, claim strategic locations, and ruthlessly investigate the villagers. So the objective of the game is basically two players are going to compete to be the first one to complete their individual objective. As the witch, your objective is to collect enough secrets to perform a ritual so potent that the entire region will fall under your spell and Mother Nature will reclaim the colony. As the hunter, you gather all the allies and support you can muster to bring the witch to justice before its fatal ritual comes to fruition. All right, they had a cool little synopsis and introduction here, but this is the rule book in full right there. All right, let me move this over here to the side. So now let's take a look at some of these boards, okay? So you will have the main board. I believe this is going to be the board will look something like this, if I'm not mistaken, for your characters. And hopefully that's in full screen. So this is going to be like the row of where all of your, and actually they're supposed to be in a certain order. So I think yellow, or it goes blue, green, and then red. So this is the villager board where you'll have your 9 villagers out here that you guys will be investigating. And then we have the hunter board right there with some really cool artwork here on the back. All right, cardboard here. And then we have the witches board, okay? With some really, again, nice artwork here on the back. So those are going to be the boards. You also will have a sideboard here for the witch. She'll be able to play like enchantments of some sort in order to just basically hamper down the witch hunter, okay? What's really cool is like your player aids are like cardboard player aids there, one for the hunter and one for the witch. All right. Let's move that over to the side. Well, I'll leave that out there. Just diving into some more stuff. So I went ahead and bagged up everything per player. So I'll bust open the Witch Hunter bag. So the Witch Hunter is going to have his specific deck of cards here with a couple of his different actions that he's going to be able to take. And so like these are going to be able to do different things throughout the game. And you can see, like, you know, he's got a dog, you know, remove different secrets, gain secrets, and things like that. You can hire preachers and scholars and different people to kind of help with the tracking of the witch. But each character is going to have a deck of cards specific to them. They have these really cool health dials. Well, I'm sorry, they're not health dials. They're like, you ever played Dice Throne? They're like CP dials, but in the game it's called influence. So depending on your influence, it's going to cost you influence to play cards from the deck in order to do things like that. And then basically they have their different tokens. Like these are your action pawns that they have, and then these are the tokens that you'll be able to spread out clues. And then I think these are clues is what they're considered, and then investigation markers for the witch hunter, okay? So each character is going to have their own deck of cards, their own specific markers, so you can see the witch hunter, the witch right here. Guys can't talk. They're trying to move through this very quickly. She's going to have her own deck of cards as well as her own specific markers, okay? And then, let me get this back in here. So, health dial, her own specific markers, her own deck of cards, all right? And then the last thing we got in the box, I'll show you some of the villagers here. So, you got the villagers. So, these are the different villagers that are going to be in this game. And so, this is the actual villagers. So, what's going to happen is you'll take all these villagers, you'll mix them up, boom, 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 boom. The witch will draw one, and then that's going to be who she's trying to corrupt, okay? And so this is hidden information from the witch hunter, and then you have all the actual villagers. You'll be able to visit, like, with these villagers to kind of question them, and they each have their own separate effects that they can do, all right? Then you got some player aid cards, and then you have some story or campaign cards if you want to kind of do like a story / mini campaign in the box as well. But this is pretty much everything, guys. This is everything that comes in the base version of the game here. This is Pagan, Fate of Roanoke. All right, the 2-player base game right here. Throw that back on there. All right, let's go ahead and bust open the expansion. Well, before we get into the expansion, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these awesome wooden token sets. So bust this wooden token set out. These were upgrades. I believe that came free with the Kickstarter if you backed it on the Kickstarter here. So we got some nice felt bags here for the witch, the witch hunter, and then I think this is going to be for the expansion here, Pagan, Fate of the Palisades. All right, we got some markers here. Those look like the clue markers for the for the witch hunter, and then those are, I can't remember what they call them for the witch. But these are the main things that you're trying to get on the board. So once the witch has like 3 of these on a character, she automatically wins the game. And then once the witch hunter has some of these feet on that, then he's going to be able to put out like a clue, which is going to be able to draw a card from that deck. So I'll go ahead and put these in my hand here and bring them up close to the camera so you guys can see what they look like right there. All right. Moving on to the next set. So these are going to be the basic. These are going to be the basic markers. So the clue tokens, I guess, or I mean, I don't remember exactly what they call them. I should probably should be telling you guys the correct information here as to what they're actually called. Let me get this. Making noise. Let me get this rule book out so I can tell you exactly what they are called to make sure we know. Okay, so yeah, so for these, the feet are going to be the evidence tokens, and then the witch is favors. Okay, so in order to win the game, the witch is trying to get 3 favors on one character, and once they do, they automatically win the game. The witch hunter is trying to get these evidence tokens. Once he has 3 evidence tokens in his possession, he can trade those in to draw a card from the villager's deck, and that way lets him know who the villager is not, right? Or who the witch is not. Okay, these meeples, or these tokens right here, these are going to be the clues for the witch hunter, and then they're going to be the secrets for the witch. Okay, so these are what you're going to put out, and then initially, once you have a certain number of these, you'll be able to convert these into either favors if you're the witch, or evidence if you are the witch hunter. Let me take out one of each of these real quick and show you guys up close. Ooh, I thought I grabbed it. All right, show you guys up close what they're going to look like, but just adding in some cool more flavor and vibes to the game instead of just your basic cardboard punch outs. All right, these look like they are the tokens. So these are going to be the, let me get the witch and the witch hunter here. So these are going to be the action pawns, okay? Action pawns for the witch hunter, action pawn for the witch, instead of using the basic cardboard ones as well. But those look pretty cool. Like the witch hunter looks like he's like Van Helsing or something. That's pretty awesome there. And then these tokens right here are going to be for the Beyond the Palisades expansion, okay? So those are everything that came in the wooden token set of the game, all right? Let's go ahead and bust open the Beyond the Palisades expansion here, but like I said, me and Cierra got to play this. We tried it one time. The game did run very long the very first time we played it. It does say on the box about... I thought it was 120, no, it says 60 plus minutes. I mean, it took us about almost an hour and a half to 2 hours for one playthrough. But again, that's us reading the rules, trying to figure out how the game is played. But I think overall, it was a very enjoyable experience of like a cool social deduction game. And basically it's almost like a race to see who can complete their objective first. But right away, man, this box art is just super, super nice. On the back, there we goes on the back. It's just very well done. I was trying to think and talk at the same time. But let's see if I can get this box open here. Okay, so we have the Beyond the Palisades rulebook. All right, let's take a look at this bad boy. So let's just read what we got here. So Beyond the Palisades is the first expansion for Pagan Fate of Roanoke. Basically says it's an asymmetrical game. More. Let's see, does it give us anything else about what the actual expansion says other than what is actually bringing to the table? I'm sure there's some flavor text here. I'm terrible at reading cursive, so I'm not even going to try it. So it looks like we got 50 new hunter cards. 50 new witch cards. So I did see at some point they do add like some deck construction mechanics to the game where you're going to be able to pick and choose and create your deck of 50 cards. Looks like we got some new scenario cards and we got some gloom tokens that are added. We got some new suspects and maybe some new villagers. So we got gloom and cleanse as a new mechanic here. Let's see what this says. Beyond the Palisades enters 2 new mechanics to Pagan, Gloom, and Cleanse. Gloom is a new resource that benefits the witch player as long as it's in play. It symbolizes the witch's symbiotic relationship with the lands. A Gloom card cannot be voluntarily removed by owning its player. Alright, so Gloom, that's kind of what Gloom is right there. And then it can stay in play until it is cleansed. Alright, so I'm assuming cleanse is going to be the new thing for the Witch Hunter player. Alright, so that is what we got in the rulebook here. Very nice, small, compact rulebook. Here would be those tokens. So here's the wooden markers there. So actually live skulls. And then we have the deck of, it's probably the villagers with the Witch Hunter. And then that looks like the deck of witch cards. Alright, let's go ahead and I'm not going to bust these open today. But I will take a look at some of these new villagers. Let's go ahead and bust it open and see what these new villagers are working with. Which ones get added to the game. And what we got here. So we got 3 of each. Trapper Judy. Oh, Trapper Judy. Alright, Boatman Armstrong, Houndskeeper William, Prospector Ashley, Woodcutter Oswald, Miller Blossom, Mason Hazel. So again, just bringing in extra villagers, just spicing up the game a little bit that you can add to your actual game of Pagan Fate of Roanoke. Okay, and then those are witch cards. Witch. So that's pretty much all the witch cards there. And then, all right. And then this will be the rest of the witch cards and the witch hunter cards. Okay, perfect. So that is everything in the Fate of the Palisades deck, or the box right there. Interesting new expansion, bringing in a new mechanic, bringing in more cards, more villagers and suspect, new ways to interact. So it's definitely going to be interesting trying to play that after a while. The last thing I got here, guys, is we got some postcards. Some postcards came in there. If you ever needed some postcards, Wyrmgold has got you with these nice postcards. I mean, these are wonderful detail, awesome details on the postcards. Brewing potions. We got some more potions with a bee there. A fancy cat with the familiar, and then just the witch by itself. So cool postcards. And then the final thing, the finale here is this is the Ancestor deck pack. So what does this say? The Ancestor content pack, which is a stretch goal from the very first Kickstarter, introduces several new villagers to Pagan, giving your decks new twists when combining them with their abilities. New scenarios introduce further intricacies for you to explore. So you're getting 21 villagers, 21 suspect cards, 7 villager overview cards, 7 scenario cards, and 2 hunter cards, and 2 witch cards. All right, that is coming in this new deck. Let's go ahead and bust this bad boy open and take a look. So definitely we got a lot of content. I like how they added in some of these scenario cards. I think that's what me and Cierra are going to do next, is do some of these scenarios. So this looks like some witch hunter cards. Okay, these are going to be the different scenarios maybe. What is that? Wares and Wardens. Yep. So that'll show you how to set up these different scenarios and what you're trying to complete. So that's a lot of different scenarios. Here's some more scenarios. So it's pretty cool that I think what's going to be awesome is to play through these scenarios and see how that is compared to the actual straight up game of I'm trying to complete my objective and what we're trying to do. So what we got? We got some, I'll just go through all of these characters here. Pilgrim Margaret, just again adding in more characters. This is cool. so you're not seeing the same 3 characters all the time. Just run through them really quickly, and then what all their effects are. Okay, so that is pretty much everything that came with this pledge, guys. And one last thing, I can't believe I forgot it. I cannot believe I forgot it, is this playmat, all right? Now, the playmat is definitely bigger than I thought it was. Let me go ahead and see if I can roll this bad boy out here. The playmat is definitely way bigger than I thought it would be. But as you can see here, let me go ahead and see if we can just take a little bit piece of it. Yeah, you can see, guys, it's barely fitting on the camera. Let me go ahead and zoom us out and see if we can get a better view of it. Okay, so that should be a somewhat larger view of the playmat here, but you can see this is where the row of villagers would go. This would be the witches' side with their decks, discard piles, their ability to lay stuff down in there. And this right here, I'll go ahead and move this up. This would be the witch hunter side. So while the playmat is very, very nice, it looks great, looks fantastic, it does give a much larger presence on the table to the game, where I think what's cool about this game is it doesn't really have that much of a table presence in the first place. So it's kind of a hit or miss for me with the playmat of how useful I actually like it. It seems like the game will take up more, it seems like the game takes up more space with it than if you did not use it. But I mean, it's done beautiful work, really helps organize everything, but that is the playmat. All right, guys, well look, that is Pagan Fate of Roanoke, the unboxing coming to you from Wyrmgold. All right, so like I said, very excited to get into this and play it with the upgrades. Me and Cierra just played it with the base stuff, but I really want to dive into these scenarios to see how that plays compared to that base game. The base game was good. Again, like I said, it took a little long for us to get through it, but once we finally got the hang of it, things started to move very quickly. But I think for us, what happened was it took so long, the game kind of lost a little bit of its luster. So I want to see if those scenarios can kind of rein the game in a little bit from going a very long time and kind of losing its luster, and give you other things to go ahead and think about. But all right, guys, if you enjoyed this content, please help us out. Hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and as always, if you are not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel so we can keep bringing you more awesome content. All right, guys, y'all have a great one. Bye.